because you weren't at this point yet, but old Ian.
Oh,
I love the whole part.
I forgot to put that on the CompuServe thread about what scenes make you cry. I cried at that. I loved him, and I didn't realize how much I loved him until he died. And then I went, oh my God, Ian.
He's just the rock. He's like the strong. Yeah. He was absolutely. I mean, other people have died before, but that I felt like it was like an immediate member of my family that died.
Yeah.
No, that was. But it was so, that whole thing was wonderfully done, and so many of like the farewells, like the Ian and the young Ian and Jenny scene, and then old Ian and young Ian. But the Jenny and young Ian, where she takes him to the grave of Isabel.
That was awesome.
And Ian's last words to Jamie.
On your right. I'll be on your right.
And he didn't know what he was saying, and then he figured it out. Oh my God, I was a mess.
Brilliant writing.
But I also have to say, while we're here, just in case we run out of time, Jenny's treatment. Oh, let's turn this down. Jenny's treatment of Claire.
You know what? I get it. I mean. Okay, Claire says to Jenny, okay, here's the deal. I'm not a witch. I'm like from the future.
I'm not a witch.
And Jenny's like, no, you're not. You're a witch. And then she's like, okay, whatever you are, you obviously have magical powers. Please cure my husband. And Claire's like, no, Jenny, I don't have magical powers. Sorry, and I can't cure him. And Jenny's like, bullshit. Of course you can cure him. And Claire's like, no, I can't. You know what? I totally get Jenny's. I totally get it. I totally get in the context of what was going on with her and with Ian. I totally get it. I mean, it doesn't make it right, but I understand it.
You have no soul.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Carol, what would you say? What would you say if Tom was like, goo coming out every orifice and like on his deathbed?
You know what?
And Jen was like, yeah, Carol, I'm from the future.
You have no soul. You witch.
I mean, if Jenny doesn't care about Claire.
She's been hanging out with Laoghaire.
If Jenny cared about Claire, she might have been more inclined to say, okay, I understand.
I don't know. I don't think she doesn't care about Claire.
Won't help him.
I think she cares about Ian more.
Why does she think that
she cares about Jamie more?
Why does she think that Claire won't help Ian?
I don't know. She doesn't.
Because of the hair.
Maybe. I don't even think that she stops to think about the reason. I don't think the reason is important. I don't think the reason is important.
Let Jen talk.
Oh no. I thought the reasoning is because of Laoghaire from matching up Jamie and Laoghaire and bringing.
This is like paybacks are a bitch, Jenny.
So she thinks that Claire is mad at her and won't do it.
Jenny apologized. I'm sorry for that. Remember? Didn't she?
Yeah. See, I thought that they sort of made up after Voyager. But then I think maybe Jenny blamed Claire a little bit for what happened with young Ian going to the Mohawk.
Yeah.
She said that.
She didn't say it. But she didn't speak to Jamie for like 2 years. Or she didn't write to Jamie for like 2 years.
Yeah, but I don't think that had anything to do with Claire.
Because I thought they were sort of
issue.
Yeah. I thought they were sort of made up at the end of Voyager, but then they really weren't. They kept not being made up. I don't think Jenny thought it through that much. I think she just heard I can't help your husband who's dying, and didn't think about the reasons about it. It was just like, you effing bitch. You have no soul. And I it's wrong of her. It's totally wrong, but I get it.
Okay, move on real quick. Laoghaire and Jamie's fight. Laoghaire, get over yourself. If he didn't step in and save you, you'd probably been knocked up with a married man and left on someone else's doorstep because your parents would not want to deal with you.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, he actually saved her life. Which she ended up sleeping with the guy anyway. But by then,
she was mad that Jamie didn't need her.
Yes.
And you're right. Get over it.
Get over it.
No, he didn't need you, you spoiled little brat. He didn't need you. You should still be thanking him for what he did for you at Laoghaire. Right. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And do we love Joan? We love her.
Oh, that was awesome.
I love her.
With her, what did she call it? For the stipulations on the money.
Yeah.
That was perfect. And didn't you love how Claire went right to her?
Yeah.
When she showed up, and I was like, oh God, is she going to be? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
And Claire went right to her, and I forgot about Claire's relationship with Morsley for a minute. So I'm like, why is she being so Why does Claire have the confidence to just walk right up to Joan and be like, Joan, That's why. Maybe I got
Yeah.
Right.
All right, do your questions.
Okay, so we asked people to ask us questions on the blog, and they did in different forms. This one came in from Julie on email.
Hi, Julie, on email.
Hi, Julie.
Julie.
Okay, the whole rapid resolution of all story threads. Say what? Well, I'm going to assume that's the way you were saying this, Julie. Was the book contract only for 800 plus pages, and DG had to suddenly pull all the ends and give one hard yank?
That was my question.
Yeah, I mean, this is my overall thing of the whole book. The first 750 pages should have been 600 pages, and the last 50 pages should have been 200 pages.
I agree.
That was a very good synopsis.
That was
Yeah.
a good synopsis.
Number
Thank
2,
you.
I'm a little confused, and I'm wondering if Julie means... Okay, Jamie just shows up out of nowhere. Suddenly he's in Philly, and all is okay and forgiven? I don't think so. The whole storyline was just too damn fast. I think she said darn. Sorry. Like a few chapters were missing. Now, when she says all is forgiven...
Well, no, that's not true. We don't know all is forgiven.
Yeah, I think that's what
I mean,
she's
I think
saying,
we
but-
sort of figure it is because, you know, it wasn't like Jamie, if Jamie was really pissed about the marriage and whatnot, he wouldn't have
Right.
necessarily have gone to find Claire. He knows she's okay.
Okay. And number 3...
This is for Tracy.
This is for Tracy. And number 3, and Lord John, he's a bit of a snooze fest. Why, oh why, does he get the spin-off books?
Have you read Julie from email?
Seems like some other characters are more spin-worthy.
Oh.
Discussion point. Ian, for one. Have fun, Julie. Love it,
Billy.
Julie. Love the questions.
I think Lord John is actually a really good a possibility or a good option for another book series because he's sort of set apart from the other characters. You know, he approaches things in very different ways for very many reasons. And unless you've read the Lord John books, which I have, the third one, I'm not even going to get into a discussion. That's another video. But the second one, I think, is a prerequisite for Echo. I think anybody who wants to read Echo must read Brotherhood of the Blade first because otherwise, the whole Percy thing, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Percy is a major character in Brotherhood of the Blade, and you should absolutely read it.
I would buy a book of Ian's life within the Mohawk time period. I would buy a book.
Oh, I'd buy a book about Rollo's life. I mean, whatever. I'd buy whatever book Diana wants to shove in my face. Here you go. Here's remember your money right there.
Anyone else?
Ian.
Okay, then I guess I'm the only one who would read something about
Fergus!
That's a big old pile of interesting as far as I'm concerned.
Fergus, totally.
It's not.
Okay, all right.
Let's go on to May.
Jeannie Birdie. Oh,
Hi, Jeannie Birdie.
Oh no.
Blue in your face, I'm
fine.
sorry. Jeannie Birdie.
Hi, Jeannie Birdie.
Hi, Jeannie. Okay, what will happen to Jenny?
I think Jenny's gonna be really interesting. I have to say,
Yeah.
one of my favorite parts of the whole book was once they were in France, and she's like, "Look, Jamie, I can buy stuff all by myself."
Yeah.
Like that's why everyone's like, you know, on the comedy store, they're like, you know, Jenny's gonna be a bitch. Da, 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 da. Jenny's a different person now.
I think we
and
need
Jenny's
Jenny
learning
in the
a lot of stuff.
storyline.
And I love that Jenny got the comedy line at the very end of the whole sequence of
really?
like, yeah. I
That's
love
good.
that she got that. I thought that line was hilarious.
Is that still?
It's my email.
All right.
Jenny is going to be. I almost kind of like the idea of her as comic relief a little bit. Here, well, you talk
me to
about
just
what you
go?
think, and I'll let the dog out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think Jenny will
No, wrong door.
be a prominent figure.
Come on.
How old is
Just
Jenny?
open the door and leave it open for
Yeah,
her.
how old is
This one,
Jenny?
out front, and just leave it open. She'll come
Like
in.
50 or 60. She's older than
Jenny's
Jamie.
older than Jamie, and Jamie is Jamie 60 yet? No,
No.
he's like 58.
Yeah. So she.
Claire's
How much
61.
older is Jenny than Jamie?
2 years.
All right, so she's like 60.
I love
maybe a
how
little less.
Jamie wrote in the note.
Oh, no.
Don't think that she's going to be coming to live with us. And
Oh yeah, that was
Oh,
awesome.
Oh, boy.
That was awesome. I still like Jenny, I have to say. I mean, I think Jenny's had a hard time. She loves her brother, and she, you know, it was hard for her with Claire, but I think now she's just going to be learning a lot of stuff, and she's going to be having new experiences that
It's
she never
going to
thought
be
she
the
would.
year of Jenny.
Yep. But I do think the
The
most
year of
interesting
Jenny.
dynamic is going to be Jenny and Rachel, because I think Jenny as a mother-in-law is going to be very
And I think
interesting.
Rachel will stand up to her.
Yes, yes.
Oh, and that will be very interesting.
Okay, next question.